It's ModsTime, it's ModsTime. Come with Igor again. Welcome back, legends.
And that was from Mal, one of our friends. Thank you very much, Mal. Great effort. Let's get to work. Today I'll talk about self-propelled Ozito cylinder mower, how I modified mine, and my path to get there. I want to throw out there a big warning. Don't do that. If you do the same steps I've done, you're trying to achieve self-propel on this beautiful machine, you'll be taking the same risk I'm taking. Remember, its DC motor was not built for this kind of extra work. Was not built to do that much of the work. Most likely is not gonna last that long. Besides the fact is have to spin the reel, mow your lawn, and at the same time has to spin wheels as well. And by the way, both wheels are spinning. Improvements along the way. At the beginning, actually both wheels were locked. After doing a bit of a deeper research, actually the solution is pretty simple. I actually managed to make both wheels spinning forward, actually without engaging the reel, but I can't spin them backwards. If you try and go backwards, it's gonna lock in with your reel. What's the big secret with this? Well, I don't think there is a secret anymore. So everything goes back to backlapping. That's how everything started. If you watched the other videos with regards backlapping, the one I modified the pin to be able to spin the reel backwards, well, everything basically is based on that. From that point forward, that's how I came up with the self-propel function on the Ozito cylinder mower. While I was mowing, every time when I started up with no weights on, I was always checking my motor. That's why I have still my cover off, so I'm always looking for my motor for the temperature, because I failed. I tried a couple of times to speak with the customer care from Ozito, and they didn't want to help me out, and they didn't even want to admit they don't know the answer, or didn't even offer to try and find out for myself. So the only thing I had left on my hands to check how this little motor is doing with my self-propel function alone, and then with the extra weight added later on, which in my case was about 20 kilos. The only thing I could think of was to check the motor's temperature. So basically any electrical motor while it's running, if it's under load, obviously the load is way too big than it can cope with, is actually getting warmer. So that's what I was trying to not run it way too hot. So for my about 150 square meters, with 20 kilos load on top, actually the motor, at the end of the job, the motor is getting pretty warm. So that's why I'm saying, warning, don't try and do this. If you do this, it's on your own risk, just as I take a risk myself. So far, the backlapping switch is going strong. It's still hanging out, as you can see. I haven't decided any spot yet. It's gonna come in the near future, I guess. I just want to test it out really well before I find a spot for it. Alrighty, now getting back to the Ozito and the self-propelled function. First thing what you need to do is we'll have to remove the covers on the wheels. So we'll do the both covers off, and we'll take the wheels off as well on the both sides. Pop one of the lids off. We'll do the same on the other side. Okay, and now we'll get to those metal things and we'll remove them. I bought these special pliers because these steel things are getting damaged using screwdrivers. So one wheel off, and then once you got the wheel off, you just remove this little yellow thing, and this is my pin. So basically your pin in there will look different. I can't find mine, but this is the ones I made. So the trick to allow your wheels to spin still forward, which is really good to turn around at the edge, at the end of your mower when you need to turn around, is actually they still move forward. You make sure the length, you match the length basically with your pin, the new pin you're gonna make in, because your pin has got a couple of ends under 45 degrees cut. When you remove them, you'll see, you'll understand what I mean. So they allow us to move only one direction but not the other one. While you're putting these full pins in, is gonna engage, because the real pins basically is gonna engage the wheels as well. So I'll just put this one back together. I'll do in the next one later on with two hands. Okay, now go on the other side. Same, I'll use this pliers. So much easier to work with them. Pop the wheel off. And again, we'll remove this. And this is my pin, the modified pin. As I mentioned again, you gotta I cut them exactly to match the length of the other pin. That's how I still have my forward. I still can spin the wheels free forward without engaging the reel. I can't go backwards though. Commenting on other thing, if your lawn is spongy, where you cut really high, and then obviously the reel spins fast and the wheel spins a little bit quick as well, so it's more than just working pace. It's more like a bit of a, I don't know, light running pace, I would say. Wheels are gonna skid if you don't keep up with it, because you hold to the handles and the mower wants to go forward, and if you hold onto it, basically it's gonna spin freely, and especially the lawn being that high, it's gonna spin in the grass. I've been mowing this way my back lawn, which is a little bit thatchy. We need a scalp next year or something, or this year in September, maybe. And yeah, that didn't bother me. Just wanted to point that one out as well. Now, having a bit of a closer look of the bearings, which goes between the wheel and on the real axle. So this is how they look like. They're identical, actually, which is allowing to spin forward. Actually, the right one is a little bit longer, so I might actually give it another polish to that. Checking out the gearings inside here. This is actually which they transmit from the motor. In this case, while you have the self-propel function in place, they transmit the engine's rotations to the wheels. So that's a bit of a force point there. I would have expected a bit of a damage in there, which there is a bit of a wear. This is plastic, hardened plastic and steel, obviously. This is the same gearings when your battery runs out, or you can use a mower just as a push mower, so you push it. And the wheels, by the wheel spinning, engage these little gearings and they engage the reel. So that's how you can cut your lawn. So this time I have removed the pins. So I just brought it back to a push mower for Ozito. And just to check again the motor's temperature, just to going by feel really, it still warms up. This is only 80 squares here in the back. It's still warm. I would say with the weight, 20 kilos on, with self-propulsion on, probably would warm up maybe twice by, this is just a feel, I don't have any scale to measure in temperature wise. It would be nice to have a bit of a laser thermometer, I don't. But just going with a hand feel is just doubled, most likely, in temperature. Yeah, it just felt weird not having it self-propel and push it. Definitely I'm not going back to pushing. I'll stick with my self-propel function in place, and then the DC motor decides to leave me. That's right. I have a plan in place to give it a bit of an upgrade, so we'll see how long it lasts. I'm happy to try it that way. I don't mind, because I have already a plan in place. That's it. I'm not going to tell anymore. I'm not going to share anymore. We'll just let it happen one step at a time. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put back in the the pins, and we'll slow him down with the switch. We'll take it for a mow again and the 20 kilos on, see how it deals with that. So just to give you an idea what speed you should have walking to make sure the wheels doesn't spin on your lawn, I'll put him on the cement here, footpath, and we'll give it a go, see how quick it is, and I'll focus on the wheels. Yeah, so basically it is a bit of a fast walking if you don't want your wheels to spin. Now I have slowed down to 70%, and I'll try again on cement. I'm just trying to find a comfy speed walking with the self-propulsion, and then we'll try it on the lawn. There we go. Okay. That's better. Yeah, 70%, that feels a little bit better. Let's do it 50%. And try it 50% now. Yeah, my blades, I think I hit something. It's making a bit of a noise. Now I'll take him for a spin on the lawn at 50%. But one thing we have to remember about DC motors, they have the highest torque at their highest RPM. So as we slow down the RPMs, obviously under load they won't do as well because we are losing from torque. So I was expected to actually slow down a bit. So here we go, 50% on the lawn. Wheels are not spinning as much as before, obviously, but you can hear the motor running not that well either. So that's going to impact the reel as well, obviously. I don't mind my fast walking with self-propel function in place, and I don't mind even the wheels spin a tiny bit on the grass. I've been mowing this lawn with this Ozito for a while now, a couple of good weeks, and happy with that outcome, besides the fact I've been lazy a couple of times and I let it go a little bit too high. Alright, no worries. Thank you for being with me today. I hope you enjoy watching this as much me doing it. Till next time, we'll see you on ModsTime. Bye.